name is Dorra.
And my name is Ethan.
And welcome to Nala Newscast for Newton South High School, where we recap what students have been up to and look over other recent events.
Today on the newscast, we will look at South Senate's new legislature to remove the honor roll, the girls' gymnastics team's successful season, the Chromebook 1-to-1 initiative for sophomores, and how some South students have taken STEM out of the classroom.
This is the Nala Newscast.
South acknowledges students who receive high grades by posting their names on the honor roll, a controversial tradition which some students claim cause unnecessary stress in South's already grade-crazed culture.
Today, we take a closer look on the mixed opinions surrounding the new South Senate bill, which removed the honor roll.
Earlier this year, South Senate passed a controversial bill which removed the honor roll. We spoke with Lucy Che, the senator who sponsored the bill.
So the idea for this bill came from an English class. I'm in Honors Juniors English, and we had a conversation about being stressed, and it started with a conversation about the college process. So, it's pretty known at South that it's pretty competitive, and so is the culture, and it devolved into a discussion about how bad the honor roll was. Obviously, given that I wrote the bill, I personally believed in favor of not publishing it, but I'm not surprised about the pushback.
As Lucy expected, many students were unhappy with the bill, including junior Hannah Kim.
I have been on the honor roll for most of my time at South, but I think one of the biggest things is I was always told that it doesn't matter whether you make it on honor roll or not, it matters whether you're succeeding, which I think is really true. And I also think that it feels like they're trying to say, oh, we've solved all the stress problems just by taking away the honor roll, but all of the problems that made the honor roll problematic are still there. People still care whether they get A's versus B's, and that's taking away an arbitrary list isn't gonna solve anything. And it makes it harder for people who are doing really well and have that recognition and want to send it to colleges or tell their parents. It makes it harder for them to be able to know that.
Due to the mixed opinions, South Senate held a student forum after passing the bill to hear opponents' views. However, many students felt their voices were not being heard as the bill had already been put into legislation before the forum took place.
The bill's in a pretty strange situation. So it has passed South Senate by just barely a majority vote. So it's technically in legislation, but unlike other bills we've passed before, when we met with Mr. Stembridge, although he approved of it, he wanted us to hold a student forum so people would know why we took it down and possibly get opinions of people who are still in favor of keeping it published.
It felt to me like they were holding the forum after they'd already decided, just so that people couldn't complain.
The forum was definitely controversial, and given the history of it being debated in South Senate itself, I'm used to the pushback about the bill. I think the culture at South is competitive enough to recognize people for their grades and also prepare people for life. This was discussed in the student forum, and a lot of students complained that taking down the honor roll wouldn't do anything. And so I think if taking down the honor roll will really not do anything, then I don't see a point in keeping it up, given that it causes stress for some people, and taking it away would possibly decrease the stress. But either way, South Senate doesn't think that taking away the honor roll will solve all the problems at South. We have a cultural problem, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't do anything about it.
The honor roll has remained a highly debated issue at South, and it is unclear whether the forum has made any strides in finding a compromise between those for and against publishing the honor roll.
What a controversial bill.
Definitely. I don't think I'm a fan of it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan either. I agree with that. But let's look at something else that's less debated.
Like how good our gymnastics team is?
Yeah.
One of the lesser-known South athletic teams, the girls' gymnastics team, turns a sport that is generally very individual-focused into a collaborative environment.
On the team, just everyone wants each other to do well, and we just always cheer each other on, and everyone's just really supportive. It is my first year on the team. I've wanted to do it in the past, I just couldn't. So this year, I'm really glad I've got to be able to do it, and it's just a lot of fun.
I really like the camaraderie, and we are a pretty small team just because there's not a lot of people who do gymnastics, but I feel like we have great team bonding and we really get to know each other throughout the season, and it's just a very good environment and everyone's so nice and supportive. Doing high school gymnastics is a lot different from club because with club gymnastics everything about it is pretty much an individual sport and then the team aspect is just on the side. But with doing it for high school, it is entirely a team sport. And so I think it's really beneficial to look at a sport in the perspective of a team for someone like me who's only ever done an individual sport outside of high school. So it's really a different experience.
The girls' gymnastics team has been extremely successful lately, breaking the school record for both team and individual all-around scores in their last meet.
So last meet we beat our school record, which was set before I was even on the team.
We broke the school's all-around record at that meet with a 146.25, so that was exciting.
There was a lot of anticipation leading up to that. We kind of knew that that was something that was possible for us to do this year. We had such a strong team, probably the strongest that I've ever been on, and so we were just excited that we got to do it against Westford, which is our hardest competitors, and we were all very excited, and hopefully we can even beat it again.
It was really fun being able to beat the school record, and I broke the all-around record, and that was definitely a good accomplishment. I was happy about that.
The team practices and competes at North, so despite their success, many students don't even know the team exists. I feel like at South in general, there's not a ton of school spirit for most sports, and also this is an off-campus sport, so people don't really know that much about it. So I guess this is a good opportunity for more people to hear about it because we're pretty successful in my time on the team. Since being a freshman, we haven't lost a meet. I've never lost a meet. And it's pretty fun to watch, so more people should do that.
Wow, they're really good.
Yeah, and since this was filmed, the team continued their undefeated streak, won DCL championships, and went on to break 2 more school records and win New England's.
Now, let's take a look at a new initiative at South.
Yes, this year, every sophomore has received a Chromebook in the one-to-one initiative. Let's hear some opinions from the students.
My name is Valerie, and today I have a story about the Chromebooks that the sophomores have received in their chemistry classes.
So I think that the Chromebooks are a good alternative for people who have been taking notes in notebooks and don't have a computer they can use at home. But for the kids who have a computer that they've already been bringing to school, I think it sort of steps backwards because I know me personally, I had applications installed that I would use for school. To be more specific, there's a thing called Music Notes that I use for band, and we can't download them on the Chromebooks. So I would either have to bring 2 computers to school or decide which one to bring. And I think the money might have been better spent towards something else rather than buying Chromebooks for all the students. But I think it's stepping in a good direction to where everybody has the same opportunity to get their work done.
I like the Chromebooks because personally my laptop is really heavy and I don't like bringing it to school. These Chromebooks are really a lot lighter and they also are really interesting. They do a lot of weird things. The pencil thing is completely unnecessary but also kind of fun. I guess it's kind of fun, and if teachers were to lean into the Chromebook thing and be like, alright, we're not going to use paper anymore, we're not going to have paper submissions, that would be really good. That would be a really good benefit of the Chromebooks.
I love the Chromebooks, they're really great. The touchscreen is a lot more useful than I thought it would be, and so I can sketch stuff on it, and it's really useful for Quizlet.
As a freshman, I think that it's great that the sophomores get Chromebooks because hopefully I will get a Chromebook too.
Chromebooks have the potential to be very useful in classrooms and such, but I think unless many teachers actually use them in their classrooms and apply them for worksheets or things like activities you can do to help students engage, it'll be kind of a pointless expense for the school. But I think the idea of them, the concept, is really good, and I think they have potential. Having something so heavy in my backpack isn't terribly pleasant, but it is nice to be able to just pull out a computer and do any work that I might have had to do at home.
This one-to-one computer initiative has been tried in schools all over the country, and now it's here in Newton. Initiatives like these have had pretty positive results. Students did better on tests and were able to learn in the way that helped them the most. But it's not just the test scores. Giving every student access to a computer in school and at home can increase their desire to learn along with their ability to.
Finally, here's a feature story on STEM Inspiration Organization, a nonprofit founded by Senior Jack Lee.
It makes the communication selective. All right, what else could, so now that
Hi, my name is Jack Lee. I'm the founder of the STEM Inspiration Organization. We are a registered federal 501c3 nonprofit organization in the Boston Metro West area, and we're interested in promoting STEM career in students of all backgrounds. We run seminars, we run interview programs to provide this kind of deeper career insights for students who potentially interested in going into the STEM field, science, technology, engineering, and math. So our staff member kind of change over a year. We usually run one turns 1 year. We have about 4 board members every year constantly, and about 6 to 10 ambassadors running.
Through the ambassador program, other students from South, like George Jooms and Rebecca Beauchard, are getting involved with SIO as well.
I'm an SIO ambassador. I'm going to be helping students today learn how to read scientific papers. STEM is the future of our race, so I think it's the most important field. We need to keep on progressing, and getting involved as early as you can helps you start that progression.
I'm the Chief Marketing Officer for STEM Inspiration Organization. I deal a lot with advertising and marketing and that sort of stuff. Even though I also obviously do STEM stuff because I'm interested in that, I've taken a lot of business classes.
George and Jack were both able to gain valuable experiences from their time at South, which prepared them to help out at SIO.
Newton South recommended me to go to the MIT BeaverWorks program over the summer, where I built a satellite that will be monitoring the cloud top and sea surface temperatures. So that's probably the biggest way that South has impacted my experience with STEM, because it got me interested in aerospace engineering, and that's what I plan to do in the future. So South has given me a lot of experiences. I was one of the former member at Legabot, which is the robotic team in Newton, and that was a very, very professional team, and I was part of the business group. And I would say a lot of experience I have in terms of managing the nonprofit and running the business part of it, like the community outreach, security sponsorship, even marketing. And I learned a lot of experiences from Legabot by participating in their events. So I would say South have basically build up the entire foundation of this organization in terms of, the techniques that we have, the experience we have, and I truly appreciate that.
In terms of staying involved, George, Jack, and Rebecca each plan to enter the STEM field and hopefully continue volunteering with SIO as well.
As long as I'm invited, I will plan to attend these events to help students.
In my college time, I will most likely develop a new college branch in the college I'll be going, which is Cornell University. In the meantime, I will also be managing our high school branch in the Boston area. We have other board members that will be staying here running the high school branches, and there will be more members coming as well.
I want to go into medicine, so even though a lot of people don't consider that part of the STEM field, I feel like it is. And even though I'm the Chief Marketing Officer for SIO, STEM is still a big part of it for me. So yeah, I definitely want to go into STEM.
Well, after I graduate South, I plan to go to an engineering school. I don't know what yet, but I plan to major in aerospace engineering, and then after that, hope to work at NASA JPL.
Participating in these kind of activities, students can really find their own passions, and where that's something completely different, or that's completely something they have thought about it before.
Alright, well that's all we have for today, folks.
Thank you for watching, and until next time, je m'appelle Dorra Germazi.
And I'm Ethan Kopf.
And this is Nala Newscast.